Warning! This video has Avengers Endgame spoilers, and I'll put the word spoilers here in the video throughout the entirety of it, so anybody coming in later on or in the middle of things, they will know that it's a spoiler video, so they can go and watch Endgame. They can stop the video, watch Endgame, and come back and watch it, right? But anyways, if you've seen Avengers Endgame, and I'll bet many of you have if you're watching this video, you remember that part at the final fight, the final confrontation with Thanos, where, you know, Marvel had all of the female Avengers and Avengers allies, except for Black Widow, you know, band together in that iconic, like, pose or sequence. They didn't all really fight together that much, but they just, you know, were standing or, you know, positioning together before Captain Marvel engaged Thanos directly for a little bit. And, you know, I think Marvel was kind of teasing us with that all-female, you know, Avengers or Marvel movie that certain actresses in the MCU have been talking about for a while. I think Brie Larson has said she'd like it. Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie, had said she would like it too. And I think some other actresses, Marvel actresses, have said it too. And I think Marvel is trying to test the waters. How would that work? Would people respond to it? And I don't know, they could do it. You know, Marvel has that A-Force comic. I don't think A-Force ever really sold that well. I mean, like most comics, it started strong, but then I think they canceled it. I remember hearing about it and seeing it, but since I don't read Marvel comics consistently, I didn't pick it up. But I knew it was out. And I think Captain Marvel was the leader of A-Force for it, or most of it for its entirety. So, you know, they have Captain Marvel now, who just had a $1 billion movie. So they could make Captain Marvel 2 kind of like, you know, the MCU's A-Force, right? And guarantee, that movie would probably be almost guaranteed to make $1 billion or close to it, right? Now, I've mentioned before how I thought Captain Marvel 2 was kind of mediocre, and the only reason it got $1 billion is because it was tied to Endgame, or seemed like an Endgame tie-in. It was almost like a necessary part of a huge crossover, because the Captain Marvel movie itself I thought was very average. So in order to make sure Captain Marvel 2 makes $1 billion too, maybe they got to come up with another gimmick, like have her be a leader of an all-female, you know, superhero team, which would be kind of the biggest superhero team up ever. I know Birds of Prey is coming out with DC, but that's going to be a smaller movie. It wouldn't be like this huge, you know, all-female superpowered fest like Endgame, like A-Force would be, because it would have more female characters in it, you know, so it would just be kind of like a bigger, you know, have more pomp and circumstance to it. So they could do that. And Brie Larson, you know, Brie Larson is a director too, and I'm sure that when they signed her deal, you know, like with her salary and her whatever work she's going to be doing for Marvel, I'm sure they told her like, yeah, maybe you can direct something for us someday. And she was like, great, right? So maybe she'll be like, I want to do the all-female Avengers movie. Now, that might not be Captain Marvel 2, but it could just be its own thing. And I'm sure she would love to take a part of it. Now, Brie Larson, I don't think has much like action movie experience, but Marvel is willing to hook its first-time directors up with like, you know, like DPs and other people who are action-oriented to help them. Because I think like the people who did Captain Marvel, her movie, those two directors, I don't think they had much action movie experience, but they followed like the Marvel house style with, you know, Marvel people backing them up to produce an action film. That was good enough to get $1 billion. So they could hook Brie Larson up the same way. You know, hook her up with like an assistant director or, you know, some choreographers, action choreographers to like help be like, Brie, we're going to help you make the action sequences in this all-female Marvel movie awesome if you don't know how to do it yourself. Now, Brie Larson and Brie Larson fans don't get mad. Maybe Brie Larson does have the skills to handle action sequences herself, but she doesn't have a reputation as being a huge action director, so I'm not sure she could without some assistance. But that's okay. I mean, you know, a lot of other directors have needed assistance too and turned out some great movies. So I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know that Marvel's going to make an A-Force movie, and I don't know that Brie Larson's going to direct it, but you know, I could see it happening. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.